James Edwards article, and it's all about lineups, man. It's all about lineups. So I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to pull it up on my screen real quick.
Okay.
I get it. I'm a little confused by some of it, but here are his starters. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Bojan at the 3, Isaiah Stewart at the 4, Jalen Duren at the 5. Their minute breakdowns are Cade is 34 minutes, Jaden Ivey's 32, Bojan, Isaiah Stewart 28 apiece, and Jalen Duren 34. Do you think, based on just in the starting 5, do you think that's how the minutes will be broken down this year, or just to start the season?
I think it's a good prediction. The Duren at 34 minutes, I think it's dependent on foul trouble.
Yeah.
Because if he gets 2 fouls in the first 10 minutes, he's not probably going to play till the third quarter. But I think it kind of tells you what maybe James is hearing, or maybe this is just kind of a prediction from him.
Yeah, I really honestly think Jalen Duren will be closer to 28 minutes per game this upcoming season, just because potential foul trouble, but also, they're going to have to find spots to really rest him to try to maximize it all, man. You can't just have him out there, even though he is young. But, I mean, it's just you're going to have to really find where you can play him at. You're going to have to be real cautious with minutes, I feel like. Isaiah Stewart and Bojan at 28 apiece, that doesn't surprise me. That seems fair. I wouldn't even be surprised if Isaiah Stewart honestly finishes around like 24 minutes per game. It really wouldn't surprise me. I feel like at some point during the season, he's going to be his minutes are going to be based on matchup, and he might be the backup to Duren to spell him throughout the game. Cade and Jaden Ivey, I'm honestly not concerned about. Give them as many minutes as you possibly can. I honestly think Jaden Ivey might even lead this team in minutes per game. That dude just has a motor that just keeps on going. It doesn't seem like he ever gets tired. But what are your thoughts on the backcourt?
I'm not really too concerned with the minutes. I think the starting lineup is something that both of us have kind of agreed on.
Yeah.
Where it's just going to be Cade, Ivey, Bojan, Stewart, and Duren. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I don't think Asar cracks the starting lineup, not right away. I don't think Isaiah Liver plays the 4 because he can't stay healthy. I think this is probably the starting lineup that they're going to set out preseason and regular season.
Well, look at this, though. They have Isaiah Livers James Edwards has Isaiah Livers at 20 minutes. And it looks like Isaiah Livers would have to play the 4 based on how he put this out.
Yeah, he's projecting him as a 4.
Yeah, which I totally agree with. Asor at 20 minutes, Marvin Bagley. I feel like the bench is kind of low, though, don't you? I mean, I could see us doing a 10-man rotation. But Monte Morris at just 16 minutes per game, that seems too low for him. That's Kojo territory, man.
I'm not entirely sure. But I do want to pull up the rotation. I wasn't so much focused on the minutes. I was more focused on the bench unit. Like Monte Morris is your point guard, Alec Burks is your 2 guard, Asar at the 3, Isaiah Livers at the 4, and Bagley at the 5. So you're not playing Joe Harris, you're not playing Killian Hayes.
Wiseman.
You're not playing Wiseman. I don't understand why you trade for Joe Harris and you don't play him. Like that's weird.
I mean, I was caught off guard by that too. That's why. But I did take notice. I mean, the reason I wasn't caught off guard by just the 5 that he put off the bench, because you kind of expected it that way to go that way. Like I definitely thought Killian, it's going to be hard for him. It's going to be hard for him to get minutes beyond Monte Morris, Burks, Ivey, and Cade Cunningham. That's 4 guys that are going to play over him. I was just more shocked by the minutes per game for Monte Morris because I feel like he might be one of the leaders off the bench for us this year. And 16 just seems too low.
Yeah, I don't know. Like looking at the 10-man rotation, I don't think it's bad, but maybe Sasser's going to play in the G League. Who knows? I think there are, some people that or saying that that could be a possibility. I feel like, Bagley and Wiseman could be interchangeable. I feel like if you want to play Wiseman at the backup five, you could. But if Bagley is having a game where, he's just scoring more, then yeah, you're going to start Bagley. To your question with the minutes with Monte Morris, yeah, that James has Monte playing 60 minutes a game and Cade playing 34. Maybe he's just projecting, Cade's going to be out there more because maybe the games aren't going to be close. Maybe he wants to have, your star point guard out there longer than a backup point guard. That's the only thing I could think of. But I was really surprised Wiseman didn't crack his rotation in his predictions. I was surprised that even though Killian is basically a third string point guard, I thought at least maybe 5 to 10 minutes. But Monty does kind of keep a really tight rotation, even in Phoenix. And I know he didn't have the bench that Detroit has. It was only like 8 or 9 guys. It wasn't a really deep bench like Casey used to go 10, 11 deep while he was here. So I think everyone's going to have to really, fight for their spot. I don't think, playing time is just going to get thrown out there.
Yeah, I'll say real quick, I am shocked at Joe Harris. Because I think right now, I do love Isaiah Livers. There's no secret about that. Joe Harris could provide so much, though, for spacing offensively. And if Isaiah Livers' shot is falling, he shot around 42% his rookie year. It was in a small sample, but the shooting touch is there. He just has to find it again. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to. I'm fine with the rotation. It's just the minutes per game that's bothering me. And I think it will definitely be different as the season goes on. It just seems like, is Monty Williams, does he rely on his starting five like this?
He did in Phoenix, but to be fair, he didn't really have a deep bench in Phoenix if you look back at their rosters. I think in Detroit we have a little bit of a deeper bench, but I think my biggest issue with this whole list, whether it's a prediction or whatever, you traded Joe for Joe Harris, and he's not in the rotation at all. That to me is a red flag. That tells me maybe he's not healthy. Maybe his injury that he suffered last year is still lingering. Or maybe I'm just overreacting and reading too much into it. But I don't really understand why you spend a majority of your cap space and you're not giving that guy any kind of playing time. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't. Man, if you had to make a prediction on the starting lineup and the rotation, do you think yours would be pretty accurate to James Edwards, or do you think you'd have changes in yours?
I think the only thing I would change, it's hard. I don't know. Like, you obviously want Burks out there. Yeah. You want Monte Morris out there. You want a source for his defense. So that's point guard to small forward right there. Then you have power forward and center. If they're going to use Livers as a 4 in this situation, I understand it, but I'd kind of like to see Bagley at the 4 position. I don't want to see Bagley at center. And Bagley's even said he doesn't want to play center.
Yep.
He wants to play power forward. I'd rather kind of see a tandem of Bagley and Wiseman off your bench and let Asur and Isaiah Livers fight for minutes. Like, earn that spot. Like, to me, I'd rather see that, but maybe some fans wouldn't. I don't really understand why you trade for James Wiseman. He doesn't even crack your rotation. And you trade for a Joe Harris and he doesn't crack your rotation. I don't get it.
So here's what my rotation would be. I'll start with the starting lineup. I'd go Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. No questions about it. I would start Asur based on just what I've seen in Summer League. I'm basing it on that. Kid's ready. I'm going to play him at the 3. I'm going to move Bojan at the 4. I've already talked about this before. I'm going to move Isaiah Stewart off the bench. And I'm going to have Jalen Duren still starting. And then my bench unit would be Monty Morris, Alec Burks, Isaiah Livers, Joe Harris, and Isaiah Stewart. And I would push Marvin Bagley, James Wiseman, and Killian Hayes out of the rotation. That would be my starting in my rotation for the Pistons.
Yeah, I don't expect Killian to get a lot of burn. with the Pistons. You might even see him with the Crews, if I'm being honest. He might get the Saban Lee treatment.
Did I say Killian Hayes?
No,
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't mention, but like we've been talking about him a lot lately, but I know that might sound crazy, but like I don't think he's gonna get playing time over Monte Morris.
Oh, I don't see him getting. I think even he'll get. I don't even think he'd get minutes over Marcus Sasser based on summer league. You know, and I'm being very serious about that. That is not Killian Hayes slander. It's I think Marcus Sasser, he kind of showed out, even though his shot wasn't falling. He showed out in summer league, and he showed more to be more of a quality NBA player than Killian Hayes has.
Yeah, like I said, this is just a prediction. I love that James had the balls to put it out because I don't understand why you use 90% of your cap space to trade for Joe Harris and you don't put him in there. Like I kind of projected him as like a two guard or a small forward. You even talked about him playing power forward. Like maybe him and Livers fight for that power forward position. I don't really know if you want Joe Harris playing power forward. I'd rather it be Livers or even Bagley, but it's like I don't know, man. Like we're gonna have to wait and see how training camp holds because I think none of these positions are guaranteed. I think it's just going to be a dogfight, and you're going to have to earn your spot. It's not like years past where Casey was just throwing anybody out there just to play. I think a lot of these guys are going to have to earn their spot. It's not going to be given to them.